The fall of the Templars, Pope Clement the Fifth and the Papal Bull Pastoralis Praeeminentiae. What do you know about the context, causes, and consequences of this pivotal event? The Papal Bull Pastoralis Praeeminentiae, issued by Pope Clement the Fifth in 1307, marked a critical turning point in medieval European history. It authorized the arrest of the Knights Templar, a powerful and wealthy religious military order whose rise and dramatic fall continues to capture the imagination of scholars and the public alike. By examining the Templars' meteoric rise, their suppression through political and religious intrigue, and their lasting cultural and historical legacy, we uncover the complex interplay of faith, power, and ambition that defined the era. Introduction: the end of an era. The Knights Templar, founded in 1119, embodied the dual ideals of faith and martial valor. For nearly 2 centuries, they played a central role in the Crusades, defending the Holy Land and safeguarding pilgrims traveling to sacred sites. Yet, by the early 14th century, the order faced extinction, accused of heresy and moral corruption. The issuance of Pastoralis Praeeminentiae by Pope Clement V in November 1307 formalized a process already set in motion by King Philip IV of France. The arrests and eventual dissolution of the Templars were as much about politics and economics as they were about faith. The suppression of the Templars was emblematic of broader shifts in medieval society, including the rise of centralized monarchies, the decline of the crusading spirit, and the increasing entanglement of religious institutions in secular politics. Let us examine the historical circumstances that led to the issuance of Pastoralis Praeeminentiae, its implementation across Christendom, and its far-reaching consequences. The rise and power of the Knights Templar. Founding and crusading zeal. The Knights Templar were founded during the aftermath of the First Crusade, a time of both triumph and uncertainty for Christendom. Pilgrims traveling to the newly established Christian states in the Holy Land faced numerous dangers, including banditry and attacks by Muslim forces. Jacques de Molay and a small group of knights sought to address this need by forming a military-religious order dedicated to protecting pilgrims. Their cause quickly gained support, and in 1129, the order received formal recognition at the Council of Troyes, backed by influential figures such as Bernard of Clairvaux. The Templars' structure reflected their dual mission. As monastic knights, they adhered to strict religious vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience while engaging in military campaigns to defend Christian territories. This unique blend of martial prowess and spiritual dedication made the Templars a vital part of the crusading movement. Wealth and influence. The Templars' successes on the battlefield were matched by their growing economic power. Over time, they acquired extensive landholdings across Europe and the Levant, often donated by nobles seeking spiritual rewards. The Templars developed sophisticated financial practices, including the use of letters of credit, which allowed pilgrims to deposit funds in one location and withdraw them elsewhere. This system laid the foundation for modern banking, making the Templars indispensable to the medieval economy. Their wealth and privileges, however, also set them apart and fueled resentment. The Templars' direct allegiance to the Pope exempted them from local laws and taxes, creating tensions with secular rulers. By the late 13th century, the Templars' military role had diminished with the loss of the Holy Land, leaving their financial activities as their primary function. This shift, combined with their secretive practices, made them an increasingly controversial institution. The political and religious context of 1307. The rise of centralized monarchies. The early 14th century was marked by the rise of powerful monarchies that sought to consolidate control over their territories and weaken the influence of independent institutions. King Philip IV of France exemplified this trend. Known for his ambition and cunning, Philip faced mounting financial pressures due to his wars with England and Flanders. His indebtedness to the Templars, who had become major creditors to the French crown, provided a powerful incentive to act against the order. Philip's broader campaign against the Church further contextualizes his actions. His disputes with Pope Boniface VIII, culminating in the infamous Anagni affair of 1303, demonstrated his willingness to challenge papal authority. The election of Clement V, a French pope, allowed Philip to exert greater influence over the papacy, setting the stage for the suppression of the Templars. Pope Clement V's struggles. Clement V inherited a church in crisis. As the first pope of the Avignon papacy, he faced criticism for his close ties to the French crown. Clement sought to balance his loyalty to Philip IV with his responsibility to maintain the Church's independence and moral authority. When Philip arrested Templars in France in October 1307, Clement was placed in an impossible position. By issuing Pastoralis Praeeminentiae, Clement attempted to reassert papal control over the investigation while avoiding a direct confrontation with Philip. The Papal Bull Pastoralis Praeeminentiae. Content and purpose. Issued on November 22, 1307, Pastoralis Praeeminentiae called for the arrest of all Templars within Christendom and the sequestration of their assets. The bull framed these actions as necessary to address allegations of heresy and moral corruption within the order. By extending the crackdown beyond France, Clement sought to present the investigation as a church-led effort rather than a royal vendetta. Implementation across Christendom. The reception of Pastoralis Praeeminentiae varied widely. In France, Philip IV's influence ensured swift and ruthless enforcement. Thousands of Templars were arrested, their properties confiscated, and their leaders subjected to brutal interrogations. In England, King Edward II initially resisted the bull, expressing doubts about the charges. However, under pressure from the Pope, he eventually ordered the arrest of Templars in 1308. In Portugal, King Denis adopted a more pragmatic approach, reorganizing the Templars into a new institution, the Order of Christ, which allowed their wealth and expertise to be retained under royal oversight. The trials and the fall of the Templars. Charges and confessions. The charges brought against the Templars were sensational, ranging from heresy and idolatry to blasphemy and sexual misconduct. Many of these accusations stemmed from rumors and misunderstandings about the Templars' secretive rituals, such as their initiation ceremonies. Under torture, some Templars confessed to these crimes, though their testimonies were often contradictory and implausible. The Council of Vienne and the dissolution of the order. In 1311, Pope Clement V convened the Council of Vienne to address the fate of the Templars. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, political pressure from Philip IV ensured that the council supported the dissolution of the order. In 1312, Clement issued the bull Vox in Excelso, formally disbanding the Templars and transferring their assets to the Knights Hospitaller. In practice, much of the wealth in France remained under royal control. The execution of Jacques de Molay. The suppression of the Templars reached its dramatic conclusion in 1314, when Jacques de Molay, the order's last Grand Master, was burned at the stake in Paris. According to legend, de Molay maintained the Templars' innocence until his death, cursing Philip IV and Clement V as he perished. Both men died within a year, further fueling myths about the Templars' persecution and martyrdom. Legacy and enduring impact. Economic and political consequences. The dissolution of the Templars disrupted Europe's financial networks, paving the way for the rise of new banking families such as the Medici and the Fuggers. Politically, the suppression demonstrated the growing power of centralized monarchies and their ability to challenge even the most privileged institutions. Cultural and mythological legacy. The dramatic downfall of the Templars gave rise to enduring myths and conspiracy theories. From tales of hidden treasures to their alleged connection with the Freemasons, the Templars have become a symbol of mystery and resistance against oppression. These narratives, while often speculative, highlight the order's enduring hold on the popular imagination. Conclusion: a cautionary tale. The suppression of the Knights Templar, formalized through Pastoralis Praeeminentiae, reflects the complex interplay of religion, politics, and economics in medieval Europe. The Templars' fall serves as a reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition, the fragility of even the most powerful institutions, and the enduring tension between faith and power. As we continue to grapple with these themes in the modern world, the story of the Templars offers valuable lessons about the human condition and the forces that shape history. Thanks for listening. Like, comment, and subscribe to Medieval Chronicles 1066 for more journeys back to the Middle Ages. Stay curious.